And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. This is a set of quick announcements. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message me or email me directly. Link is on main, and we'll set that up, okay? So, Pisces, what's going on here? Little info about what's been going on with me. There's been a lot of changes for me, both at my primary job, but also different things going on, and a lot of changes for many people around me because of everything around me. And that's the nicest way I'm going to put it. Because of this, I didn't feel comfortable just doing a simple first and last style of reading for those who have been visitors to this channel before, where we have the aces on top, tens on the bottom, and examine the energies going in and out, right? I didn't feel it was capturing everything that I wanted to see out of a read, right? Especially given how things are flowing right now. So instead of doing the first and the last, I decided to go with the middle, the conflict point with the fives. And you could learn more about the cards in the playlist. Learn with me, where we examine the 78 cards and what they mean and how they operate for the deck. But the five collectives are centered around conflict, what we feel about it, how we gauge it, why do we feel so drained by it, or what do we feel we're not getting right about it, right? Instead of trying to find out the roundabout story that's going on, we dive right into it with the hopes that maybe, just maybe, we'll come up with better resolutions thereafter, right? So, Pisces, as a preamble to this read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got to do 12 signs for every subject of upload. I have no business trying to lie or mislead any of them, especially with the layouts and how they happen. Instead, we put and lay out all our cards. And good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we're going to talk about it, because tarot at the end of the day is a conversation, just an energetic one. Yeah. So follow along with me in your read today, Pisces. Your as things change, ATCs, with the fives, your as things change read. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to go and start with your home element of water with that 5 of cups. Show us cards we need to see, please, for the Pisces collective upon that 5 of cups in their read today. How are we processing? And what are we doing? Show us the cards we need to see, please, in this read. Okay, the willingness to try. What is that defined by? Two of Pentacles, making things balance out. In what regard? Six of Pentacles. Yeah, particularly financial right now, Pisces. We feel like we're just kind of ghosting it, right? We're getting by. We're getting by. I think that the harder that becomes, the more we're forced to ask different questions, and that is okay. I do want you to cherish and value your time, because more than resources, time is the most valuable resource that we have beyond money, beyond material possessions. It's time, because no matter how rich or poor somebody is, we all experience time in different manners. Some will live to be 100, others will live to be 90, others will live to be just in their teenage years, right? But what we make of that time is the most valuable resource. And I know that's, kind of a cliche or corny way to approach this, but the thing that we're feeling right now is that, A, we're getting burnt out. I can understand that. But B, it's like, what's the biggest point of me doing this right now? Right? I'm not feeling good about it. I feel like I'm just scraping by what gives. And so underneath all that 5 of cups with sorrow, pain, and remorse, yeah, we try and try again, but it doesn't feel like we're going anywhere. Maybe it's time to ask different questions. So that's probably what's going to come up, but let's explore. To the 5 of Pentacles, what do you feel so left out and left behind from? In some ways, in some perspectives, depending on how this read goes, potentially material poverty. Show us cards that we need to see, please. Upon the Five of Pentacles and Pisces ATC read. The Sun, yeah. Okay, why do we feel so locked out from the happiness that we're seeking? The Tower. And what goes along with that Tower, the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the life that we're experiencing right now is not the life that we dreamed of. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that we find ourselves in a financial bind right now, particularly because something fell through in a way that we did not originally foresee. Remember, the Tower, although it's one of the big three that gets some of the worst raps in the entire tarot card deck, the Tower is ultimately designed in our best interest and well-being. Thing is, the Ten of Pentacles, which is the foundation of life, where we plant our roots, where we try to have vibrant growth thereafter planting the roots, it got swept away from us, the house and the dream. And so happiness seems so elusive from us right now, but more so Pisces, the reason why we feel like we're scraping by is because what we originally set ourselves out for and we felt like we, had everything set, is also being redefined in ways that are uncomfortable right now. And that's okay. It is okay, because ultimately, even though the Tower causes a lot of chaos and havoc, it's ultimately designed in our best interest. Remember, it is one of the few cards that, above all else, besides like judgment and potentially the world, depending on the context, the Tower is specifically outside your reach, right? It is not within your control. How we react to it, that is. Going to the Five of Wands, how do we engage in conflict? Show us cards we need to see, please, for the Pisces collective. As things change, what is happening? So spirit renewed. When we say it out loud, it is easier to do. Ace of Wands coming out. Why so? High Priestess. What do we know internally without it having to be said? That newer and brighter days are before us. The Ace of Cups. The notion of fulfillment. The fire is now being relit. We're not just existing. We're going to be thriving. And for the Pisces that I'm talking to, that better days are to come. And you may not be feeling that right now, right this instant, but maybe it's about going within, right? And trying to see what that person has to say. The High Priestess coming out, all this energy right here, the Ace of Water, the Ace of Fire, meaning that your spirit's renewed emotionally, we're gearing up, we're trying to see what else fulfills us. It's forcing us, this material poverty, the struggle that we're having right now is forcing us to go within and ask deeper and better questions about what we want and how we get there. You may not realize it right now because, again, we've been financially just juggling things and robbing Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. But we're being forced to ask deeper and better questions here and now about how we get there. So, thumbs up. It doesn't feel like that. I know. But keep at it. Keep at it. And while you're keeping at it, envision and plan for things beyond it, right? This is not a permanent fixture. This poverty, this struggle is not a permanent fixture. What can we do with the time and life that we are given? Right now, energetically, you may not even be saying that, but you're gearing up for much better. I want you to look forward to it. Lastly, to the Five of Swords. What about the internal monologue of things we feel we just can't get right? Show us cards we need to see, please, upon that Five of Swords in this reading. That's a break. What do we need to see upon the Five of Swords? Ooh, that almost flipped upside down. But it didn't hit the table, so I cannot take. Also, flipped upside down. An interesting combination of cards, but again, can't take unless they hit the table. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Pisces in this reading. So, in terms of the internal monologue, Queen of Wands, we want to embrace better in the most optimal way possible. Five of Pentacles, it doesn't change our material possession. Understood, but also Queen of Pentacles, we make do with what we got. Here, the Queen of Pentacles, okay, so if I'm not in the financial state I want to be in right now, what can I be appreciative of? What can I do better? How can we maximize this? How can we see opportunity in that, right? Let us ask different questions here and now as we move forward. Underneath it all, Page of Swords, observation with hopes of learning. We want to learn. We want to grow from this. We don't want to do this forever, but in order to do that, we also have to be mentally equipped with a plan of how we execute our desire, right? It's just a transference of that energy. And so while we don't feel like we're in the stage that we should be, that doesn't change where we are. And so with where we are, what are we doing right? Because you are. You are doing a lot of things right. You're just not giving yourself credit for it. Pisces, I want you to see the abundance of the here and now. You're getting it right even though it's tough. What about that? Next, can I get a card underneath every five of every respective element? Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Pisces in this read. One card underneath each. Okay, the first that came out, Ten of Swords. Yeah. The pain or result of an ending, again, I would take that more as a financial realization of just where things are at for you right now, Pisces. It's not fun. It's definitely not fun. But once we can also accept that and try to understand why we are where we are, we can also plan for better instead of trying to keep that hope alive, right? Convert your pain into something productive. Nice. Seven of Pentacles. The it is what it is card, but also accepting the long path, right? If something got swept up and away from you, an opportunity, an advancement, etc., then, hey, maybe it wasn't for me, even though I don't like to say it out loud, but therefore what is? Shift the perspective. Next, underneath the Five of Wands, Nine of Cups, right? All this good energy under how we engage with conflict, Pisces, it is right at your fingertips. We're not as powerless as we once claimed or once said. Understand there's a lot of space to grow here. And I think that emotionally, spiritually, while mentally and logically you're battling it, spiritually and emotionally, you're saying that you're ready. Let's see what ready looks like underneath the Five of Swords. Three of Cups. And so maybe power is found in community and amongst others. I wonder what reunion could bring for you. Underneath it all, Three of Wands, good. And as we learn more, as we grow more, the plan becomes more set into motion, more obvious on how to get there. Good. Lastly, as we move towards resolution, first define the major arcana sitting across the table for us. I want to first look at that tower, because that's always a card that catches my eye, particularly for the context of you, Pisces. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Define that tower in this read as we push forward. Ooh, interesting, but that thing ain't at the table, so it won't take. To the tower. Seven of Swords. Yeah. Okay. So why was it taken away from you? Because it wasn't as steady as we were trying to claim that it was, right? This vision, this desire, it wasn't as set in stone as we originally had thought. Now it's time to get creative. Underneath the sun, the Page of Cups, there's good and happiness in the little things, but being that that's underneath the sun, which is also underneath the Five of Pentacles, we're not seeing the value in those little things right now, and therefore we're missing out on the bigger picture. If the universe is saying, sit down and look around you, and we're saying, no, I just gotta focus on what's bringing me pain, then that also tells, from an energetic standpoint, it tells the universe, well, you must like pain. Then we also take away the happiness from you, right? I don't want you to be so mired in the things that you can't control that we lose control of everything, right? There is good things around you if you're willing to look for it. next to the high priestess. King of Cups, right. And remember, all this was underneath how we deal with conflict with our fire. And I'm looking at somebody right now, Pisces, who says, you know, I may not have all the details out right now, but I think I'm ready to move on from just being in sorrow. Beyond sorrow, flourishing. And in resolution, first, Two of Wands, making a plan, having intentionality, and knowing how to get there. And also alongside that, the Eight of Pentacles, mastering your craft, knowing what you do. Underneath it all, Seven of Cups, possibility awaits. There we go. I like this. I like this so much. And maybe when we start to believe in our skills again, they show up for us tenfold. What do I see in your read today, Pisces? I know this was quick, but it was very much to the point. So I'm liking this a lot for you. We've been in a state of just juggling to get by, particularly financially or from a career-based standpoint. We feel like we're just floating, right? And that's fair. But that too must come to an end. The thing is, we have to focus on the good around us, not just the things that fell apart or the things that we couldn't control. There is a lot of opportunity there. And I know you don't have all the details hashed out just yet. That was very abundantly clear over here. But energetically, this is all good, Pisces. We're ready to tackle that conflict. We're not going to sit down and mope and cry of self-pity or things like that. There is a space for that, and you're taking that space and have done that. Now, what does it look like to be empowered and get myself back up on my feet again? Find something that's worth fighting for. The things we may not get right, hey, yeah, we may not be in the material possession that we feel that we want to be right now, but maybe the other resources, the people, the community connections, things like that, that is where you're going to find your strength. Look into that. And underneath it all, as we learn more, as we develop more of a thorough plan and get ourselves into action, possibility opens up. Beyond beyond the sorrow, beyond, the pain of the things that didn't work out, beyond suppression, flourishment, I want you to see what's worth living for. Go find it. That's all I got in your read today, Pisces. Very quick one. Use your skills and you will find what you are looking for. But we're fixing our perspective and changing our attitude. And this time, we're going to get it right on our own terms. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.